Hello, everyone. I'm. How is everyone doing? I'm just going to give you a few minutes. I see you are all going from Venetia stream, where you all are learning visual. Sorry. Hello. Yeah, this is gonna be some fun real stuff. Yeah. So I see you all we're coming from the last stream with Vasini, where you were learning Figma and Dev Mode. I joined the stream quite late, but it looks a lot of fun. So I'm pretty sure you'll be having fun throughout the whole day. Yes, I see. Okay, so I'll just give you like just few minutes to maybe take a water break and get back. Tell me how your day has been going. Tell me what you've been learning. Tell me how the global hack week has been going so far. I hope you're learning something new. Awesome. So, Kobe June, it was great learning Figma. Awesome. Okay, so the learning continues. We are going to add more learning to your learning portfolio. Okay, I'll be sharing some link on the comment section right now. And if you have not checked in, go ahead and check in. You can see the link on the screen, and I'll also share that right now on the comment section. Yeah, so cool. You'll be learning something new, Figma, and looking forward to APIs. Yeah, we're going to learn about APIs, what it is, and what we can do with it. And remember to check in. So I just the link on the comment section. So I see you're asking, is it JS based? We are not going to be writing code today, but we may end up writing code. But if we are going to, then it will be we'll be using JavaScript based, no JS. If we end up writing code, but the session I don't want us to write code. It is like total beginners friendly. I just want us to get an overview and understanding of what API is, how they work, and how we can make use of it. Hello, hello. How are you doing today? Okay, I'm going to drop a link right now on the comment section. This is a link, just like I do my previous streams. Mostly, I drop like a walkthrough of what we'll be discussing, which is an API today. You know, what is an API, what it is used for, what we can do with it, and how does it actually work. I just dropped that link on the comment section. Hello, hello, Neil. How you doing? What's going on? We're learning about APIs. That is what is going on. So we're going to learn about APIs, what APIs are, and what it's used for. I dropped a link on the comment section. This link is just an interactive website. I just spin up using Google Gemini. You can just check it out. It just gives you like a cool concept of what it is and what it's all about. Okay, hello, hello. How you doing? Yeah, I see that. Yeah, that's API, Application Programming Interface. That's the full meaning of the acronym API. I see Cowigen asks, do we have challenges? For this particular stream, no, we don't have any challenge, right? For this particular stream, we can continue with the challenges you have on the challenge schedules. You're asking, can I explain a bit about it as I am new? Yes, this is why we are here. It is a total beginner stream to learn about API, what it is, and what it's used for. Okay. So by the end of the session, by the end of the stream, you will be able to understand what APIs are, how requests and responses actually work, and we also see APIs in real applications. And we would also do a little bit of demos, get our hands dirty, maybe uh, how APIs work using forms. So we're going to use form, like creating a form and making a request, submitting that form and getting those requests via API versus getting those requests via a UI. You know, just like seeing it in the app, how they actually works and how they communicate with one another. Okay, so let's look at what APIs are. So if you open the link I shared earlier, it gives you like an interactive. I just bring that to the stage right here so you can see that. It gives you an interactive simulator of what APIs are. One of the definitions I love is it called it a messenger. And that is actually what it is. So I see someone said the full meaning of API on the comment section. So I just want to ask if this is the first time we're hearing about the word API. Let me know in the comment section. And if you have heard about the word API before, also let me know. Just what do you understand by it, and have you used it before? Have you built an API before? Have you consumed an API before? Yes, it's either you are building an API or you are consuming an API. So by consuming, I mean you are making use of it. That's the word consuming the API. So let me know if you have built an API before. Let me know what do you know about APIs? If you have built one before, if you have consumed one before, just let me know in the comment section. I want to hear from you. So I see Onyekwelo said yes, yes, yes. I mean, you know about APIs, what they are. Okay. Yes, I have built and consumed an API. Awesome. Code with June. Your last comment before this, you said, "Can you explain a bit about it? I'm new." And then you went ahead to tell me you built and consumed one. So that means you actually a pro. You're actually not new to the world of API, I guess. Okay. Okay. So your job on your color dropped the full meaning of APIs, application programming interface. Yes, that's the full meaning. That's what it is. This someone also dropped Daniel. I know about it, but haven't actually used it. Okay, so we're going to take a look at more about it and also how it works and also how you can use it. Okay. Okay. I saw another comment section. Say I have used an API before in making an app. I know that you can collect data from an API. Normally, you get results in JSON formats. Yes, that is absolutely correct. I have never built one before. Okay, awesome, awesome. Maybe at the end of this session, we're going to build one. We're going to see what API is, how to use it, how to consume it, and we also maybe build one, right? That could be like a bonus at the end of this session. Okay, so someone says your video is getting lags. Just to confirm, is any other person experiencing that from their end? Is my video lagging? Can you all let me know in the comment section if the video is lagging, if the stream is lagging, if you can hear me fine, or if you can't? I see. Okay, there's a bit of lag. Okay, let me try and fix that. Okay. Okay, sounds are all good, but the videos are lagging. Just for the video, just to confirm, is it the screen? Is it my face, like the camera, or my screen? Which of them? Let me try and see if I can fix that. Oh, okay, the webcam. Okay, I'll just turn that off and turn it on. Maybe let's see if that fixes the problem. Okay, what about now? Any difference? Is it better? Oh, it's fine. Okay. Okay. So let's dive into it. Give me 1 second right here. Okay. No, same. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that. But if the video, if the the screen is okay and the voice is okay, I think we can actually continue. Not pretty sure why it's lagging with the camera. Yeah, not sure. Yeah, maybe. Maybe server issue because if the screen is showing the voice is okay, yeah, it could be one-sided problem. Anyways, let's go get back to it. Talking about APIs, so I was actually referring to a comment like someone said they know about it, they have consumed it before, but they have not built. So I was trying to explain that yes, it's you can actually consume, use, and also build your own API. The fun part is every single day we are actually using API. And we are syncing with API, either when we are trying to load our email or read a message on WhatsApp or Discord or Slack. We are communicating with an API. So every single time we are opening application, getting data, signing in with Google, it's API behind the scene. So we have all consumed API in one way or the other. But have we actually consumed it from a developer perspective? Also, let's say you're building an application and it is a weather application. So your part of your application depends on the weather. How are you going to do that, right? How are you going to build that functionality into your application? This is where API also comes in. So you don't necessarily want to start programmatically coding the rest of the weathers in the world into your application. So you can literally plug in existing reliable APIs that hold informations, real-time informations about the weather into your application. Yeah. So that is you consuming it from a developer point of view, right? So you are building an application that depends, some of its functionality depends on getting the weather. So let's say, for instance, you want to greet your users, maybe good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on when they log in and their locations as well. You can also get that information from an existing system that holds such informations. If we look at our banking sector as well, every single thing works within APIs as well. You are sending money from one country to the other. The way this country communicates with other country. I mean, the banks now is through APIs as well. So every single thing we do mainly depends on API because you can't have these whole resources in one place. So there's always going to be communication. That is why you can literally build an application with different programming languages. You can build a front end in using React, and you can build your back end using Python or any other programming language out there, and they can still talk to each other, right? This is what we call microservices now. We can actually build different functionalities of your applications in different programming languages, and they can all be coupled together. They can all talk to each other. So what actually helps that to happen is what we call API, which is Application Programming Interface. It's just a way to talk to each other. So it's something we call a messenger, right? That is what Google Gemini called it. It's a messenger. So if you're looking at the screen, if you also have that link, you can also play around with it. So API is like a messenger. So think about it like a messenger that you send to do something. I want you to get this for me. It does that, and it returns that back to you. Like also think about it like a waiter, a messenger, a waiter. You went to a restaurant. You ask a waiter to get you a coffee, right? You're sending a message to the waiter. So the waiter goes to the kitchen, gets you the coffee. So that's there's something happening. There is a request and there's a response, right? So there's always going to be a request and there's always going to be a response which returns back to you. So the client, if we bring it back to technology, the client is like your browser, your smartphone. You are asking a question. You are asking, do this. When you go to a URL, when you go to your browser and type in netflix.com or you type in google.com, you are actually making an API request. So whatever returns to you, the API is returning a response back to you. So that is simply basically what API is. It's all about is a messenger, a request and a response. So the UI you have on the screen right here demonstrate that a little bit, where you have a client and you have like an API, and it sends a message to the server. So like I want weather data for London. It makes a GET request and it will return that from the server back to you, which is the client. So let's take a look at the flow. So you click, just go ahead and click on send request. It's just a flow. Something goes in to the server and then something goes back to the person that requested for it, which is basically what API does. So it's just a middleman. It's just a middleman. I see a comment from Oluwa Toby. The example is the openweathermap.org API. Yes, it gives you access to all the whole world weather informations. I don't know if it is free. I think it is also, but yeah, that's an example of API. So they already have those informations. You can just literally just plug it into your application. So there's a request, contains the URL, the methods of get a post. We'll talk about the status codes shortly. And then sometimes headers as well, like your API key or a body of data. Yeah, not really going to dive deeply into it, but there's always going to be a request on the surface. It's either you're making a GET request or you're making a post request. Most of the time, is always we just do gets and posts, like 99% of the time. It's either we are making a get or it's either we're getting something back or we are posting something, right? Example is when you fill a form, you're making a post request because the information is not existing and you are typing it in and you're sending it out. So that is a post request. When you click on a button to react, so for example, you go to your banking application and you click on show your account balance. That is a get request. So you're making a request, so it's going to get that information back to you. So that's different. That's literally what we do. Most of the time on the day-to-day applications is either we are getting or we are posting. All right. So that's simply the flow of or the cycle of interaction when it comes to API. Now, this is an important aspect of API, something we call the universal language of API, the status codes. You must have come across this. Sometime where you visit an application and you're having a 501 error message or 500 error message or 404. I think 404 is very popular, not fun. Error message. These are all status code. These are literally how the machines read what is wrong, right? So I see a comment right here that says, hey, this might be off topic, but when we talk about any programming language, its documentation once in a while mentions the language as an API. For example, here's Java docs mentioning SC8 as an API. Why is this called an API? I'm trying to see if I can click on the link you shared. Okay, but just to answer your question, you said so when programming languages mention, sorry, let me read that again. when we talk about any programming language, its documentation once in a while mentions the language as an API. Okay, I think I understand what you're trying to say. What the question is, why you're literally asking why is programming language called an API? If you look at it from my description, every programming language literally talk to each other, right? So I've not opened that link you sent, but generally they all talk to each other. So the language or the interface, uh, why they talk to each other is literally what we call API. So every programming language literally have, yeah, someone say they have pre-built APIs because that's the only way you can talk to each other. The only way JavaScript can understand what Python is giving it is through that API. That is, that's the only way they talk to each other. So each of the languages are okay. I think just like Oluwatobi said, they have pre-built APIs, which is they have pre-built messengers, they have pre-built way of talking to other languages. And that general language is literally what we call the JSON language, which is an API, programming interface. So a language is not complete if it does not have a way to talk to the other language. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know if that answered your question. So if they refer to it as an API, yes, because it's have an API pre-built that can talk to any other languages. I hope that answered your question. Anyway, so back to the screen where we have the status codes. These are literally what tells you or how the machines interpret what is going wrong. This is very important. The status codes are important. It helps you understand exactly what is wrong. You're welcome. So it helps you understand what is wrong. It helps you understand if the request was successful, if it was not, and what could be wrong. If you must have tried to access a platform sometime and it's not showing up and it returns some status code, maybe like 404. I think 404 is very popular. Like when we visit sites that does not exist. Let me see if I can get one. Let me see. I go to. I know this is never going to exist. So let me say I just try to visit this. I'm pretty sure this should return a 404 for me because I'm pretty sure no, it's not going to exist. So this is like okay, the information actually came through, right? But what you're looking for does not actually exist. I think we're all familiar with 404. Like we must have seen it once in a while when we're trying to access applications. So this is all. This is basically how the APIs actually talk to each other. And from a developer perspective, this is also how you are able to debug what is going wrong right now with the API. So based on what is being returned, you can actually have an idea of what is going wrong. So example is like the 200 codes literally means is okay. Whenever you see the 200 codes being returned, it usually means that okay, the request you made are okay. So 200, 201, though 200 is like literally okay, like what the request you basically when you make a get request and it returns status 200 as okay, it simply means that the request has been gotten for you. Others like 201, so the 200s are always okay. Just have that in mind that the status code 200s are always okay. Everything went successfully, right? 400 is always a bad request. Maybe the server did not find what you're looking for and so forth. Maybe you're not authorized to access this. Example is like 400, bad request. 404, not found. 401, you don't have the key or API, like you're authorized. It's like when you're trying to access part of an application that you are not an administrator, you see 401 being returned. So this is literally how you know what is going on from the status code. You can actually be able to identify the issue at that particular point. So also when building your own app, also when building your own APIs, it's always good you also handle that as well, like handle the status code. When this happens, return this status code with a message of the issue. So yeah, familiar with the 500 error message. Very familiar, especially when the server is done. You literally get the 500 server error message. So I think in simple terms, 200 means it's worked, everything is okay. You can also say 300. It means go somewhere else, and like this is not where you want to go. Okay, go somewhere else. More like redirecting from somewhere to another, from one place to another place. So 400, the status code usually means that you made a mistake, it's a bad request, not authorized, or whatever you're looking for is not found. Then 500 are always an issue with the server. Maybe the server you're calling is down, is not responsive. You always return 500 status code. So these are also what's it called? Is it like what they call the 3-digit numbers to tell you exactly how the request went? So it's like a code for the API. So let's look at this example right here. For this example, I'm using the tweet, WTTR API. Let me see if I can get that and paste it somewhere on the screen. Give me 1 second. It's a public API. It does not actually require you to have any API key or sign up or sign in. So you can literally just see what that looks like. Just drop that link on the comment section. That is the exact API. Sorry, that's the exact API I'm using for this lab right here. You have on the screen. So what this actually does is it just returns the weather. It returns the weather of any city you put in here. So we're trying to make a real API request. So we want to get what is it like in Lagos or Abuja right now. So I'm just like typing Abuja right here. And I click on get weather request. It sends the request to the API. If you take a look at the screen, it returns status 200, which simply means it was successful. That means it's okay. And then it returns the data for us. So this is basically the language that API actually communicates in, something we call Jensen, like JavaScript object notation. This is how APIs communicate with one another using a general agreed language called JSON. I see a comment section right here. Okay, nice. Yes, cool. Tammy say, Vincent, hope you're doing well. Yeah, I'm cool. Thank you for asking. What does format J1 end of the link mean? I can't see the app. Sorry to be. Yeah, you understood. That's all. Don't worry about that. Okay, let me. I'm just gonna send the app again. But yeah, I will answer that question right away. I'm just gonna paste the app you're seeing on my screen right now that we're using. I just pasted it right there on the screen. And for this link right here, like the London, then the format, I'll just show you exactly what is happening. I'll just go open a new tab right here and I'll paste that in here. Again, the first things first, whenever you are consuming an API, which is what we're doing right now, we're consuming an API, which is the API on the screen, right? The API I pinned on the screen. The whether that WTTR.in is just an API that is consumable, that is public. Whenever you're consuming an API, the first things to learn is how it works, which is where the documentation comes in. So you need to check the documentation of that API that you're trying to consume. That is the first place to start. So as a beginner, whichever API you want to consume, you need to learn about the documentation. So let's actually visit the official website and see if we can find information that could answer this question that Tammy asked. Can we, this only gives me weather report. Let me see. This is taking me to their GitHub, which I think I can get more information. If you take a look when you visit weather report not found. Yeah, because we did not actually give it any information. But if you, let's take a look at their GitHub, which is where I think they have their documentation. Let's see. Okay, yes, this is the documentation right here. So you can click on it. That should take you to the documentation. Let's see. So this is the documentation. This is like supported location type. How you can actually pass it in, like okay, slash city name. Again, this is the base. The base URL is wtt.in. So if you want to pass in a city, you can use slash city name. It gives you information on how to use the API, right? So one thing is you want to use an API. The other thing is to understand how the API is programmed for you to use it. So the documentation is the right place to start to learn about how it's being used. So that format equals to J1 is just I can't see it here, but it should be somewhere here. Let me see. Let me use the fan and see. Yeah, it is. Okay, moon phase information. Now I'm looking for formats. Here we go. Here we go. I think it should be somewhere here. So this is literally for the view. Like yeah, telling it how to return the information you're looking for, the format you want it to be returned. Let me take a guess. The J should be JSON because it's returning that information in a JSON format for us. If I visit that, that is basically what it's doing. It returns that information to us in a JSON format. So my guess is the format equals to J1 is literally asking this API to return the information in a JSON format. I'm pretty sure that's, but because that's what it's doing. So that's basically what it means. But you can still check exactly how it works in the documentation, official documentation of any API you want to consume. So it's not the same. Like every API have a way it works. You know, the things they have made possible, things they have actually exposed. Yeah, the things they have exposed to the outside world and how you can actually get those information. So I think to answer your questions, you can just take a look at the documentation, find out the supported languages, how to use them, and so forth. But yeah, from what we just did here, we're passing the language, sorry, the city, which we can see on the documentation here. How you can pass in a city name. I think I also pass in any location after the city. Like if you're looking for a specific location in the city. Example, if you pass in Paris, if you're looking for the Eiffel Tower, you also pass in domain name, area codes. So literally they give information on how to consume their API, literally. If I don't pass in any info here, let me say I don't enter format. Let me see what happens. It returns something back, but maybe in a default format. Yeah, again, it returns the weather for London, but it returns it in a different format, like a moon, I think so, just something like this. So it's just a way to consume it, literally. I hope that answers your question, Tammy. Okay, you're welcome. Yeah, I think Toby also posted another API that helps with locations. Let me see. Yeah, I'll just check that one out and see. There should be API websites / location. Oh. Not sure. Toby, is that I think you're referring to the question Tammy asked. I think so. Or is that like an API itself? Oh, just a synthesis explanation. Okay, got you. Yes, yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense. So again, I mean, you just have to look at the documentation to see how to consume the APIs. Okay, which is basically what we're doing right here. Like what I just showed you Just passing the API, passing the city and the format is the same thing we're just doing right here. Okay, it returns the location, the country, and other informations about the weather in that specific location. So this is like a real basically what APIs does. Like that is literally what APIs does. So if you're trying to build something and you already want to, again, like Google Map API is an example of one of the most used APIs in applications, especially applications that have to do with locations. Uh, Uber uses Google Map also, and the way they use it is from the API, right? So other applications also use Google Map. So you can actually use Google Map as well if you're building something around location based. So you can literally plug in Google Map inside the application, and you can actually make use of that. So this is literally what APIs is all about. It's all about communicating with another, either you're building or you're consuming. So we're looking at it from the consuming point of view now. Let's look at lastly a simulator right here, a post simulator. Like what happens when you make a 200 request, a 201 request, 400, and so forth. Most of these have color codes. What are we building? I don't know yet what we are building. We can come up with what we are building, but for now, I don't know. But we can come up with what we are building, and then we can look at an API we can consume. Do that all together. So we'll do that right here on this. We'll come up with what we want to build, and we can see actually how we can build that by coding it and consuming the API. Anyways, let's take a look at the simulator. You can also play along with it if you have. You should be able to have the link. I can share it one more time on the screen. So you have the. Let's say I'm making a post request right here. Okay, if it's a 200 request, again, it's just going to return. Okay, server. That means the server actually found whatever we actually sent to it. If it's a 201, 200 is literally used when you're making a GET request. 201, let's say when you are making a POST request, like you're submitting a form. Maybe 200 when you're trying to get some information out. 400 bad request, literally. I think so. Yeah, you made a bad request. The server didn't understand your instruction. When you send an instruction that the server does not understand, or 401, not sure exactly what the full meaning is again. Oh, you're unauthorized. So we're trying to access resources that you don't have access to. 404 is popular, not found. I think we already looked at that. And then we have the 500, which is literally the server is literally busy, or the server is not working, and so forth. Okay, server error. You may be wondering why you have the word, or you may hear the word payload often when APIs have been mentioned. So the data that are being sent when you make the requests is usually what we call a payload, right? Is that the data you're sending, the data you're receiving? So just use the fancy word payload for it. So the payload is where you now have all the data you need. So I'll just give you an example. I think we use this for example. So where you have this this being returned to you back, this is like a payload. So it has all the whole information that you need. So it could also have like additional information if you're passing in some headers inside it, and some other, basically the headers and the body and some other data you want to pass. So literally everything that being returned or that is being sent is something called a payload. Just call it data, but yeah, a payload. Okay, so I hope this helps us understand exactly what APIs are, and we can actually dive into building one. No, before we build one, we can actually dive into consuming one. So let's see how we can consume one. By consuming, I'm looking at consuming it to build something, not just consuming it like we actually consumed it so far, like the weather API. We have done that. Let's see how we can actually consume it to build something by vibe coding an application. So let me get your ideas in the comment section. What would you like us to build? And I'm looking at something we don't have to. Okay, we can actually get something we can use API. What's it called? We can use. I don't know. Give me your options. Give me your opinion. Give me your ideas. What would you like us to build? I want us to build something, but I want whatever we are building to come from you all. So let me know what you would like us to build. Waiting for your suggestions on the comment section. I think we have covered every single thing on the slide. So now let's actually, consume. We are not building yet. We are going to consume an existing API, currency slash crypto tracker. Okay, cool. Yeah, just gonna put that on the screen. What can we build? We can build anything. So I want whatever we want to build to come from here. I don't have existing something. I don't have existing idea. I came to the stream with that we're going to build. I want the idea to come from all of us. You can just give me your ideas, and I can just pick one of it, and we can go with that. Tammy says currency slash crypto tracker. Uh, okay, not pretty sure the full concept of that. A programming joke API. Oh, okay. Joke API.dev. Nah, I actually want to check that out. So let me do that. Okay, that could be a cool app. We can build, I don't know. What can we build with that? We can build joke API.dev. Let me check that out. So still waiting for ideas. What would you like us to build? Tammy, yeah, I mean, Tammy, your idea sounds cool, but if you give me more description of that idea. I think I've built something around this before. So I built something called what's it called? It was literally a bot. It was a Twitter bot that was keeping track of what's the crypto called? Pi coin, the Pi network coin. Yeah, I built a bot that was keeping track of it. I built that with Node.js. It's what it does. It just tweets it tweets 3 times in a day about Pi, like the current. Yeah, it's like a tracker. It was just keeping track of Pi. 3 times in a day, morning, afternoon, night. It's shows us the volume of trades, the price currently, the time, and so forth. Yeah, that's like a tracker, a cryptocurrency tracker. Yeah, giving me the price, the current price, the volume, and so forth. But that was a bot. Yeah, it was. I still consumed API. I think I used. Can I remember? Yeah, I used some popular APIs. I can't remember. But yeah, that was cool. Just it. I was just literally consuming one API to the other. Twitter API to tweet from my programming lang from the program itself, and then the API to get the current price of the coin. Okay, so I'm taking a look at the joke API.dev. Okay. I see. Okay, looks pretty cool. I'm still open for ideas on what you all want us to build for consuming an API. So if you're thinking about something, let me know. If you don't, I can come up with an idea. It doesn't have to be something so complicated. It could be something just very cool. I'm literally looking at something we can all build together. Country info explorer. Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, whatever you're thinking of, we need to find the API that we can consume for that. Let me see. So I have a demo here. Form API flow. You submit a form, API receives it, the server processes it. Okay, that sounds cool. Also, but there's no but. Let's actually take a look at that. Yeah, while I'm waiting for you all to explore what you like us to build, I'll go ahead and we can actually build something. So Tami shared RESTful API for countries, country info explorer. That's cool. Yeah, I think we can build something about that. So like a kind of tourist kind of website where you can get informations about a country you are planning to visit, right? Yeah, I think that works. Yeah, I think we can go with that idea. Yeah, do we all agree? Yeah, we can go with that idea. So we want to build something around that. I love that idea. Yeah, yeah, a kind of tourist web app where if I want to visit London, I can just country UK United Kingdom, I can explore that country virtually without actually being there first to see what about the country. Yeah, I think that is cool. I think I will go with that. Okay, let me just get that URL. That should be restcountries.com. Okay, just before I dive into that, I'm just going to show you a little bit example again of not really consuming API. Yeah, in a way, consuming API. This is going to be real quick. I just share my screen right now. And Tammy, for your idea for the REST API, we're going to vibe code it. So we're also going to see how we can vibe code. So I have two options. We can vibe code using, I use Codes. How many of you have been vibe coding lately? Let me guess. All of you. I use Codes. Codes is from ChatGPT, the OpenAI. OpenAI owns Codes. I use Codes for vibe coding. I don't know. I find it more fast, and it has been doing the job for me so far. So I tried a lot of them. I tried Cursor. I tried Kiro. Kiro is from AWS. I haven't tried Gemini, like inside the editor. But I tried Cursor. I tried Kiro, and I tried Codes. I also tried what's the name again? AWS Q. Pretty cool. I think they have their strengths and weaknesses, but so far I think Codes has been doing the job for me. So this is the REST countries API. Let's look at the documentation. But before we'll come back to this. But for now, I want to show us a little bit example of how we can. So I want to show us an example of this. A demo, we submit a form, there's an API flow. I just want us to take a look at when we creating like someone said DeepSeek. No, I tried Deeps. I didn't try DeepSeek like using it programmatically, like vibe coding. I don't know. I tried it like the app itself just to use it. I think it's cool, but I don't know. I'm just a fan of OpenAI and Gemini. Yeah, those two has been doing the job for me so far. Though Cursor, usually we use Cursor at workspace, which is pretty cool. But for personal projects, I think I just stick with Codes so far. Anyways, my idea of this demo is we create a form, we listen to the form submission, and we can actually design how we want to send that information. So two ways, we are going to send that information through an API. We are going to also see how that information like on the website. So we're usually going to see two versions of data being sent from a form, literally. That's That's exactly what I want us to do right now. So I just share back the screen. For this, I'm just going to use a form platform called Fillout. It's just a form platform. We can create forms. And also I will use a website, webhook.sites, webhook.site. If you're trying to follow along, I'll just drop those links for you as well. So this is webhook.site. And this is filler.com. Yeah, I mean, you can just go to, let me see, filler.com. If I'm already signed in, it just takes me to the dashboard. But if you're not, you should be able to see how to sign in and so forth. I'll just drop the links just in case you want to test them out now or later, just to try out what I'm doing on the screen. Okay, so give me 1 second. The idea here is I want to create a form. Sorry, I want to create a form and just a blank form. I just call it MH intake form. I just call it MH feedback form. Let's say it's a feedback form. Okay. So it's a feedback. Maybe I want to get your name. Okay, catch you. We'll be here waiting for you. So maybe I want to get your name and your email. I don't want to make it required, just in case you don't want to share your name and email. So I can actually leave that unrequired. And I can use a long answer field. Share your feedback with us. Okay. Maybe I want to put rating as well. So like maybe star rating. Maybe I could just put that right here. I think so. I think that looks cool here. Maybe I can have like a drop down, right? If I'm trying to, maybe I want you to select the stream you attended. Okay, I can have different streams here, right? Okay, so this is just a sample. So you can, in your name, your email, the stream you attended, you can select from here, and you can rate the stream, maybe rate. And, give us your honest feedback and so forth. So this is just a form. I'll just go ahead and publish that. Awesome. So let's look at actually how does this have to do with anything API? If you're asking. Okay, so the idea here is, okay, I share this form with you. Okay, you open the form, you fill the form, right? Let me see. I open. Yeah, let me say I just go ahead and fill the form and so forth. What happens is I log into the form to find the results, basically. So let's say Kate. Let's say Kate. Select this person. Kate attended this, and she gave a 4-star on the session, very educative, and so forth. And Kate submits the form. I can log into my fill out form. I can go back to results, and I should be able to see that result right here, which is cool, pretty cool. But what if maybe we have our own internal tool and we literally want to be able to get the information directly whenever the form is being submitted, maybe store it on our own database or in our own system and so forth, or even maybe notify someone on Slack, notify someone on Discord, and so forth. The idea here is a form is being submitted. That's fine, but we want to be able to programmatically, or not programmatically, actually, send out data from the form to somewhere else. So we're actually not going to go deep into this, but I'm going to use a site called webhook.site. What this does, it gives you okay, just before I continue, I have a question from Code with June. Say, hi, I would like to work on open source projects. Which project is okay for beginners? Any suggestions? I think you can look at existing open source projects that are there and contribute to it, which is as a total beginner, it is also recommended. So you have like you can look at open source project. You can just do a little bit of research, like open source project that you can contribute to. I don't have any ones offhand, but you can look at open source project you can contribute to that are out there, and you can actually contribute to them. If you're looking at building something that is open source that anybody can use, I mean, it's all about you, what you think is useful, or something you have built, and you feel like, okay, I'm just gonna make this open so anyone can use it. I have a few open source projects myself that I have built. Let me show you one of them. I just go to my GitHub. I built an open source project. Literally everything, this is an open source project. Of course, the IAM guide is just a tool that helps you to scan your AWS credentials. So when you do configurations in your AWS, it helps you to scan it. Like it helps you scan your AWS IAM credentials, basically, to see if there's like risk, vulnerabilities, and so forth. So I made it open source, and I think it's actually here on. It's an open source project. It's actually downloadable as a package. So you can actually download it if you're working with Node.js and so forth, and make use of it. It's an open source project. So open source projects personally comes from maybe something you have seen other people struggle with, and you want to fix that problem for them. That's basically where open source project comes in. It can also be from something you have seen yourself struggle with, and you think other people are also struggling about it. You build a solution for that. You don't want to monetize it, so you made it open so that everybody can be happy, use it the way they want. Most of the world is powered by open source. Think about Chromium. It's powered by Chromium, which is open source web browser. Even Microsoft Edge is also built on top of Chromium, which is open source project, right? Which is open source. So a whole lot of open source project. That Linux is open source, so anybody can actually use Linux, they configure it the way they want, and so forth. Build your own type of Linux. The open source project always come from your personal struggles, and I think a lot of people have used this as well. Like 200 plus people have used the open source project I built. So pretty cool. So I think it all comes from your personal struggle, something you see yourself struggling with, or something you see your friends struggling with. You build a solution for it, you open source it. So that's actually how most open source projects were built. Cool. Awesome. Yeah. Okay, so back to this example, webhook site. This is more of webhooks, but behind the scene, webhooks are also APIs, right? So basically, what I'm doing here is copying this unique URL, and I'm going to use that on my form. I just want to show you what I mean. So this is my form. I submit the form, but I have to come here to look at the submission, right? I want a way I can actually send that to external data. So I'm assuming webhook site here is the external data I want to send that information to. So it's an assumption. So we can actually use that. So literally what I can do here is, this is just a platform on its own, but though we can programmatically do this, but I'm just doing it from the UI. I can actually integrate webhook, paste that URL. We have advanced option just in case if I want to pass in some additional data into this API. Again, it's an API. It is a post request. Yes, we are posting a form. I can define the body that I want. Though this is giving me a fine UI, but if you're going to do it programmatically, it's going to come like in JSON format, right? But at the end of the day, it's also going to come in JSON format. So I can actually define what I want to send in the body. So the body is like the data you want to send. Okay. You can also send in URL parameters, headers as well. Like if you want to pass in API keys and so forth. Also cookies. Yeah, I just leave this as simple. I don't want to use advanced. I just want to send out the data itself. Okay. What I'm going to do is just come back to my result. I just want to edit that submission. I don't want to go through the struggle of submitting another one. So I'll just edit the existing submission and just resubmit it, kind of. Okay, I'll just resubmit it right here. If I come back here, I should have that right here. I don't know why it's not coming up. Yeah, I should have that request right here. Waiting for the first request, but I just did the request. So why is it not coming up? Let's see. I'm not sure why it's not coming up, but let me see. There's no error message, so it should be coming here. Yeah, it did actually. Okay, I think it's from my network. I just needed to refresh. So if you take a look, this is giving me the payload. So this is what we call payload, the request that was sent back to me. Right here, we have all the informations that are coming from that form. This is just me showing an example of how we can actually consume APIs as well. Like in the form where there's a form, the form is being filled, the data is living on the form platform, but you can also send that form from that platform to your own, server or database or wherever you want to send it through an API. So at the end of the day, it's going to come in this form, like in JSON format, and you can literally programmatically pick it in however you want. Okay, so with that, let's dive into our demo. So we're going to use restcountries.com to build a tourist kind of applications while consuming the REST countries API. So first things first, let's take a look at how to consume this this endpoint. So I think first things I'll just look at is straight to using this project. Just to give me an overview of how to use it. So below that, there's got the REST endpoint available that you can use to start for countries. Okay. Let me see. Where are they? Okay, these are the endpoints. So right here, these are the endpoints. You can get all independent or independent countries by calling this endpoint. Countries, version 3, independent, status true. Okay, if you don't specify the status true, if you don't specify the status, true will be taken as default. Okay, you can mix it with fields like filter and so forth. Okay, you can search by name. If you want to get an exact match, use the next endpoint. It can be the common or the official value. So you can search for the country by going to, version 3/name, then you pass in the name. Example is this. Another example is this. Okay, so it can actually be the official country name. You can also search using the full name, just like what we have here, name, and so forth. Okay, let's do a quick example then. Let's, I just copy this. I'll paste it here. I'll change the name here to, let me say you're trying to visit Nigeria. Let me see what's being returned. Yeah, so this returns API. I think each browser have this print pretty print at default inbuilt. So if the data is being JSON, you can make it look a little bit beautiful by clicking here. Okay, let's see what the data looks like. Okay, it takes the name, give you the official capital, the official name, yeah, like Federal Republic of Nigeria, the official language, English, native name. Okay, yeah, it just gives you information about the country. I'm trying to look at other information we can see. Oh, it actually gives you. Okay, let me see. I'm trying to see what we can find here. What does it give me? Like, I'm trying to know. So this just gives me information about the country, like just a bit of information about the country. Okay, let's see. Let's see what we can do with this information. It returns the official name. It returns the extension of the country, which is like .ng, for example. Is it independent through the status is officially assigned? Is it a UN member through currency? Okay. The capital, alternative spelling, the region it is in, sub-region, the official language, uh, borders, area. Okay. I'm looking for, does it give me like something fun about the country? Rest countries. I think it just gives me like official details about the country, literally. Not sure it gives me like it give me the flag where you can see it on map, Google Map, OpenStreetMap, the population. Okay, just like info about the country. Okay, not bad. Time zone, the continent, the flag. So the flag also give me like the official flag image, coat of arm image, start of the week, and so forth. Country code. Okay, this is cool. So we can actually build with this. So it's still yeah, tourists can maybe not that robust for tourists, but I think we can work with that. Okay. I think we don't need an API key to use this. I think it's open. Anybody can actually use it. Yeah, you can see how you can use the similar project. Is the same. It should have had a fun fact. Yeah, it doesn't actually. From what it returned, it doesn't. I think it just gives you like official information about the country. But we can still go ahead with that. Yeah, but yeah, that's likely what it does. It gives you official information about the country. hmm Okay, so let's vibe code. I'm going to let me see. I'm just going to share my entire screen. Give me 1 second. I'm going to share my entire screen and we're going to vibe code. How do I stop sharing? Right here. And we share again. I'm going to share my entire screen. There we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and vibe code this. So fun. I'm going to spin up. I'm just going to create a folder. I love using the terminal for that. Oh, I'm on Windows. I use the Ubuntu kernel, the WSL on Windows. I just love it. For some development I do. But you're free to use whatever works for you. You can just go to the File Explorer, create a folder. You can follow along with on the terminal. So whichever one you want to do is up on. Come on, it just takes a while to open for the first time. Okay, I have this folder I call dev, which is where I do most of dev stuff. So I just navigate to that folder. Oh, sorry, my screen is not on this. My screen is not showing up here. I missed that. Okay, I think right here. You okay? See my screen now? Okay, I'm just trying to create a folder. So I use the terminal mostly, but you're free to go to File Explorer, create a folder, and so forth. So I just navigate into a folder I call dev, which I'm going to make a directory here. Make directory. What should we call this? I need a name. I call it country tour. Yeah, I just call it country tour. I love that name. Sounds cool. Country tour. Yeah, country tour. Country info, region info. Yeah, anything works. I don't. I want to keep it a little bit short, so I call it C info. Yeah, C info, short for country info. It's just a folder. Let me not overthink it. So I'll just leave it all lowercase. So make directory fee info. I'm going to open this on Visual Studio Code. I have Visual Studio Code already installed. So let's vibe code. So this is literally, I'm going to vibe code. I'm not going to code anything from scratch. I'm just going to prompt the AI, do this, and it will go ahead and do that for me. This happens all the time with WSL. There's always a new version of VS Code installed on it. Okay, let me close some resources I have here. I think I can close this. Okay, I already have most of my vibe code already open. I have charts. Yeah, I think VS Code comes pre-built now with the Copilot chart, which is a vibe coding agent as well. But I love to use Codes. So you can use Codes, you can use Gemini Code Assist, whichever one works for you. I love to use Codes. I'm going to stick with Codes. It's no, not minutes, seconds to come up. Yeah, I don't know why it's taking so much time. It's taking a lot of time trying to activate. I'm not sure why it's doing that, but it is. Basically, all of them are. Okay. It's right now. Or is it my network? No. Just to confirm, everyone can still hear me, see my screen, and also see my face on the camera. Just checking. Checking. One, two, three. Can everyone hear me? Can you see my screen? And Tammy, are you there? Code with June, are you there? Yes, we can hear you and see you. Okay. Thank you, Steve. Yeah, I'm just trying to. Yeah, I can hear you fine. Okay, thank you, thank you. I'm just trying to spin up Codes. It's taking forever to open. I'm not sure why it's doing that. But you know what? I'm just gonna try and maybe start spinning up something from my end. Ah, so first things first is what do we want to use? I want to use Node.js for this. I don't want to make it pretty robust or pretty difficult. So I'm just gonna stick with, yeah, I think finally it has opened. So I want to do a new chat right here with you, introducing this, that, that. Is it the latest one? Okay. If you say it's faster, then I'll try it out. I think I want to stick with using EJS is a template engine. Yeah, I think it'll be just pretty cool and pretty fast. Or we can just stick with HTML, or we can stick with EJS, whichever one. Okay, so let's go. So first things first, what are we creating? So it's all about prompting, right? Vibe coding is all about prompting. Literally, it's just all about prompting. Let's see. Let me come up with the prompts. I'll show you. I'll tell you what I do when I'm vibe coding. I have the idea. I know how I want to prompt it, and I know how I want to instruct it. So what I do is I draft the prompt roughly. I give it to the same AI, maybe ChatGPT or Gemini, and I tell it what I want to do. Hey, I want to do this. Help me, uh, help me, revamp this prompt so that Codex or maybe Gemini, Code Assistant, or maybe Amazon Q will understand it better and execute what I want. Yeah, it's always work for me when I do that. It's just AI talking to the other AI. Yeah, but it's all about prompting. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to stick with writing it roughly here and hoping it to actually do the work. So I want to create a, yeah, I mean, make mistakes in some of the writing. I want to create a tourist web app where people can learn about a country. Okay. I will be making use of, what's the name of that API again? Okay. REST country API. So here is an example. So here's an example, name of the country. Where name is the name of the country. So this returns, the JSON below. So I'm still gonna give it the JSON that was returned. Let's see from here. Can I copy this? Yes, I can. Let me see. Copy. Okay, so this returns this JSON data. Yeah, too long, but that works all the time. So I want to, serve those data. Not all, not all actually. I just want to serve the data. Basically, we don't want to serve them all the data. I mean, we can actually give them all of the data. Okay. First up, so the stack I want to use is EJS template and Node.js. Node.js Express.js for the requests. Okay. So first things I do when I want to write code is I literally tell it exactly how I want it to think. So I'll tell it like you are a full stack, yeah, full stack senior developer. hmm So I'm like, I want you to think like a full stack senior developer. So make the web app responsive, great UI slash US. I mean, I can specify colors if I want, but I just going to let it do anything it wants. Great UI slash US and very responsive as well. Hey, what did you miss? We're trying to vibe code an application that will consume the REST countries API. So we have vibe coding. I just opened VS Code and I'm using Codex, which is the code agent that I'm going to use for vibe coding. And I'm giving it instructions on what to do. So I'm prompting it on what to do. Okay, so I made a web app responsive, great UI US. Okay, I already said you should make it responsive. And nothing, not complicated. Not complicated. Okay, I think I'm good with this. I'll just go ahead and send that. And let's see what the AI comes up with. Starting for files, I don't have any files yet, so it should create one if it does not. But let's see what it comes up with, and let's see how fast it could be. They claim to be fast, so let's see. So let me know on the comment section if you have been vibe coding, which agents have you been using? Have you tried Codex? Have you tried Google Gemini? Have you tried Amazon Q? Have you been using Copilot? That's the VS Code Copilot. Which of them have you been using, and how has it been so far? Cursor also. Have you tried Cursor? Just let me know your experience. Let me know the agents you've been using so far and how, have you used it at all? If you have, let me know, and the one you're using and how it has been. Oh, nothing. Okay, interesting. Uh, okay, I've been using Google Gemini, Nano Banana, and Replete. I've used Replete to make a browser extension. Awesome. Yeah, I heard about the Replete agent. Haven't really tested it, but I heard it's cool. Just casual chat GPT for learning. Okay, that's also cool. Data blog. So you have used ChatGPT 5.2 with Copilot. Oh yeah, yeah, pretty cool. Well, that's cool. The 5.2, yeah, is also, yeah. I mean, it has to be inside Codex. It's you can actually see it here. The model is a 5.2 Codex. Is Codex is actually built by OpenAI. So, and I just take a look. Most of the agent there is either they're using Cursor behind the scene, or they're using ChatGPT. Also, most of them have Cursor by Atropatic. I don't know if I got that correctly. So I'm like, okay, since if I'm using ChatGPT, let me just stick with ChatGPT because it has been very cool so far. So I'll just stick with it. But I tried all these other ones too. Some of them cool, some of them not so cool. But well, I think so far, I think I can stay with Codex. It kind of does the job for me. Okay, Gemini 3 Pro plus Clouds Opus 4.5 using anti-gravity. Not a black. He must be doing some heavy stuff. How have it been? Like, has it been giving, has it been productive for you? Like, has it been delivering on the job? Let me know. I've tried ChatGPT to create an Android app, but it was back in 2024. It was good back now. No idea how it was good back then. No idea how it is now. I think it's like pretty much better now. Like they're always evolving. You know, there's new models coming up. They're actually faster now. Yeah. Again, if you're total beginner, like total beginner learning programming, I advise you just stay away from agents for now. Just stay away from them. Don't don't try them. Don't try to install them. Stay away. Focus on learning the CS fundamentals. Focus on learning the programming fundamentals. Just focus on the programming itself. So when again, I think there's this quote: "Great engineers use agents." You know, if you actually don't understand the code, you literally will be introducing vulnerabilities to your application where you're using agents. So you need to understand the code first, understand how it works, then you can use agents. Yeah, stay away from AI if you're actually new to programming. I mean, that's the best advice. If I have my nephew who is learning programming, I ask him to stay away from anything AI. Just focus on learning the fundamentals, like the old school days that we learned, you know, uh, programming in college. There was no AI, so we use the textbooks. The long run is you understand the fundamentals and how it works behind the scene and so forth. Okay, here we go. I think it has actually done what's it called? It has actually given us a result. Yeah, totally agree. Very, very important. But let's see what it looks like. So it creates a server file for us. Again, this is I don't know, too much code is writing here. But literally what it's doing is using that API I gave it. Let me see. Yeah, it installs Express. I still need to install some of these things. So I'm just going to open my terminal and install Express. I think that's the only thing I need. Yeah. So npmi Express. I mean, I could just do npm install since I have the packages here. Yeah. So Express is here, EJS is here. So I can just do npm install. That should do the magic for us. So that should just go to the package Johnson and install the dependencies that we have here. So npm install, the same thing. Let me take a look at the code that is generated. So it's just causing Express, causing path. It's using path to serve the information back to our view, which is the JSON templates. What again is it doing right here? You know, just initializing the applications and the views and the model and the what's it called dependencies that we're using and so forth. Then it creates a function, and I think this is. Let me see. Let me just It creates literally one function, the map country function. It's taking the raw data. This raw data should be coming from, I believe, from the view. Yeah, it will come from the view. From the view, I think, or whatever that was returned. Let me see. I just wonder where is it calling the API? I'm not seeing where you're calling the API. It's not calling the API here. Is it? Let me see. Okay, it is. It's calling it here. So yeah. So when we go to the get request, the homepage slash it's just gonna get this and encode the query. Mm, okay, I think it's doing something I don't like. So it expects me to actually pass in the country from the URL, but I don't want to do that. Let me show you what I mean. It expects me to pass the query, yeah, the URL parameter query of the country I want to search for. But I don't want to do that. It's like you can always use latest and greatest to later once you learn how to craft the basic tools. Exactly. That's basically the whole concept of learning something from scratch, learning the fundamentals and having a great overview of how it works. Then AID is AI that it's just a tool. If you understand how it works, if you already understand how the technology works, then you can literally use the AI to make your job better. Okay, so I don't like what it's doing here. Let me start it first, so I can run npm start or npm run dev. I think it's configured there for me. Sorry, npm run dev. Is it using nodemon? Yeah, it's using Node. Why you are using Node and calling it dev? I just pass in nodemon there. I have nodemon installed actually, so I just pass it in. Anyways, I just run npm dev. Let me see what we have on the UI. I'm going to visit. Yeah, just open this right here. So let me visit what it pinned up. Let's see what we have. That's not what I'm looking for. Hmm. Learn about any country in a clean, friendly way. Interesting. Uh, okay, let me see. If I pass in, oh, it give me, is that suggestions? No, not really. Yeah, I think it does. If I pass in United States, find country, let me see what happens. Okay, okay, I think it's doing the job perfectly fine. It passes the country to the URL parameter query right here, but it gives us the information we're looking for. Okay, so this is what we have: the flag. This will be the coat of arm, I think. North America, America, Caribbean, United States of Virginia Island. Is this USA? Yeah, this one is a little bit confusing. Let me pass Japan, for example. Yeah, this is what I was expecting. Is in Asia, is in Eastern Asia. Uh, Travel essentials. The capital is Tokyo. Currency. Language. Yeah, it's beautiful. I think Codex does something I don't like. It's used. It's used like past queries. It used some information from my past queries to actually build that UI. I don't like it, but I think it's my fault. I did not specifically tell it the kind of UI I want. So yeah, funny. Yeah, maybe that also works because it used the past queries I gave it, the UI, to build this. It's similar to what I was building before because I did not actually give it, a UI color and layout. Okay, which is fair. If I did not specify what I want, then it assumes from my previous queries this is what I'm looking for. Anyways, we can literally see that this is working as expected. Let me see if we click on open map, what happens? It literally takes us to Google Map, I believe so. Yeah, it does. It just shows us Japan on the map. Okay, which is cool, but I think it can do better. But this is awesome. So population, area, driving sides. I don't know. This should be the language, right? Language is Japanese. Start of the week, borders. Japan does not have border. Again, they, of course they do. I think this is literally from the API, whatever it returns, right? So it may not return that, calling code and so forth. I think this is cool. Let's try Nigeria. Okay. I think I love the query. In other words, I can literally send someone the URL and passing the country automatically. Let's say I want that person to learn about Japan. I can just pass in Japan on the URL query. Q equal to Nigeria and send it to the person automatically. So when they open that web page, automatically they'll be seeing everything about that country. Yeah, super cool as well, if you ask me. Yeah, Tammy, that is what the API you gave us came up with. I think we can do something fun here for the what's it called for the map. I want to show the map on the screen. Like I don't want the map to open. I can literally tell it to do that, right? Okay, let's see. For the map session, when I click to view it, show the map on the web app. Don't open it externally. Let's see if it will do that for us. So this is also, example of consuming uh, an API, right? So this is us consuming an API. So we're actually not going to cover about building an API ourselves. So that will be a later stream sometime. API week, yes, API week. We'll be focusing on that. Consuming, building our own API. Again, you can literally build your own system without it exposing the APIs, right? I'll give you an example of what I mean by that. If your system, like again, like external tools, companies have external tools that they don't want anybody to communicate with. They don't have to open it. API is literally you opening the door to other systems to communicate with your software. So I mean, some amazing softwares out there does not actually have API. So it's not a must your system must have API, but if your system depends on one or send out information to another, then that gateway needs to be there. Anyway, let's see what it does right now. So I ask it to open the map. Literally, if I click on the map right here, I don't want it to open on a new tab. I want to be able to view the map right here. Let's see if it will do that for me. Okay, I think it's done. So let's test it out. I'm just going to refresh and see what happened. I see. So it gives me view map. I click on view map and it loads the map. Pretty cool. Okay, so if this is your first time seeing vibe coding in action, this is vibe coding 101. Literally coding by prompts. Just prompting what you want. Look at this. You can literally take a screenshot of it as well. I mean, like if you don't like something on this screen and so forth, you can take a screenshot of it, give it to your agent, like your code agent, and like, hey, you can actually, mark, take a screenshot, use a marker to mark what you don't like, give it to it, like, look at where I marked this and that. I want you to change it this way, that way, and so forth. So vibe coding 101, if this is the first time, seeing vibe coding in action, it's literally where we are in 2026. Yeah, since 2025 we'll be there. Vibe coding, code agents, replacing engineers and so forth. But this is what APIs actually do. Building a system, communicating with another system. And funny thing is, so this API, the rest country API, behind the scene is using Google API as well, right? That is actually how we're able to return. That's actually how we're able to return the map. Is also using Google API behind the scene to return the map for us. So an API calling another API, and we are consuming that API. So we can literally plug in different APIs in one applications. It's all about making a request, waiting for that request to resolve and before giving out the data. Pretty cool, pretty cool. So let me know if you have questions. Let me know if this is cool. Let me know, you know, whatever you want to ask. Let me know in the comment section where we are here. Also, I'm going to be leaving the feedback link so you can let us know what we can improve and also let us know how the sessions have been going so far. So if you've been enjoying the sessions, if you enjoyed this stream, let me know. Let us know on this feedback link. Just let us know on the feedback link. Let us know how the global hack week so far, how we can improve, things we can do to do better. And also let us know the sessions you've been attending. If you have any specific comment about it, if it was great, let us know it's great. If we can improve, let us know. Okay, I want you guys to improve on this and that. Okay. I see a question. Is an API inception? Is an API inception? Not sure if that's a question or a comment. Chevy. Yeah, just let me know if there's a question or are you making a comment. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. Very good learning. I have a question regarding fellowship. Ah, I'm not sure I'm actually like in the right position to answer about fellowship. But you can drop that question on the Discord. Drop that question on Discord. I think there's a fellowship channel. You can drop that question on the fellowship channel, and you'll get your questions answered. So you can just drop your questions about the MAH fellowship. You can drop those questions on the fellowship channel. So we have a dedicated channel, for fellowship. You can just drop that question there. It will be answered. You're welcome. Again, don't forget to fill in the feedback link and let us know what we can improve. Okay, so let's look at what we have next coming up. You can literally find that on the schedule. Let's see. Oh, so an API calling an API is similar to how it was in the movie. In the movie Inception, Dream Inside a Dream. Oh, okay. Now I get the connection. Yeah, I'm not sure I've watched that movie, but yeah, having a dream inside a dream. Yeah, there's something we call callback hair. Callback hairs in programming. I don't think it's not just JavaScript specific. I think generally callback hair. You're making inside a callback. There's another callback waiting for the other callback to resolve. So you have like callback hairs. Okay, let's see what we have. So this is what is an API, which is happening right now. So the next stream will be an introduction to HTML and CSS. So if you are looking forward to learn about the skeleton of the website. So every single website you're visited have a skeleton. Then you should be joining Arrow on the next stream to learn about HTML, which is the skeleton of every single website, and also CSS, which is the beautification of those skeleton. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting one. If you're new to web development or web design and you want to learn about building websites, the skeletons and the design. So look forward to that. Okay, so Any other questions? I think we still have like 37 minutes left for the next uh, stream. So if you have questions, anything at all you want to ask so far, here for you. But if there's none, so we can actually call it a day. And don't forget to fill the feedback link. DJ Hacker, so I see someone in the comments. Not sure if there's a question. Okay, bye. Okay, so in the next 1 minute, I'll be going off. So if there's no other question, I will see you all on the next stream. I will be joining that stream to learn about HTML and CSS. So look forward to seeing all of you on the next stream. Thank you and enjoy the rest of the sessions. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Cool, Tammy. Great to see vibe coding with an API. Thanks. You're welcome. Yeah, with vibe coding is all about prompting. Yeah. Okay, we'll call it a day and see you on the next session. Bye, everyone.